Am I the asshole for calling my mother-in-law a racist bch? I 32 female, black. Am married to my husband 34 male, white. We've been married for 6 years. My let's call her Lisa has always made sly comments about me that I've tried to ignore over the years. At one point she called my hair nappy. Suggested I relax it, which I shut down immediately. At one point she made a comment about an Asian cashier's eyes and justified it by saying, "My daughter-in-law is black. How can I be racist?" When I was pregnant she kept mentioning how she wanted our daughter to have my husband's blue eyes. When my daughter was born she had brown eyes. Lisa did not even try to hide her disappointment. My son was born with hazel eyes and his hair is also tighter than his sister's. She made a sly comment saying, "You can't have the best of everything," insinuating that my daughter was blessed to have lighter skin and looser hair and my son was blessed to have pretty eyes. I've brought my concerns up with my husband and he just brushed it over and told me that she's a product of her time. A week ago my husband and I were holding a party to celebrate our 6-year anniversary and naturally Lisa was invited. She asked if who could invite her friends and I agreed. After all, it would have been a bit boring for a 56-year-old woman to engage in conversations with a bunch of 30-something-year-olds. Anyways, when her friends showed up she introduced me as her black daughter-in-law, which made me uncomfortable, so I pulled her to the side and told her I didn't want to be addressed as such. She shrugged me off and said, "You're my daughter-in-law and you're black. You people are so sensitive." In that moment all the pent-up anger I had towards her came flowing out. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remembered calling her a racist bitch. She walked away from me and went into my kitchen and started to cry. Naturally everyone went to see what all the commotion was about. She told them I was an evil woman who was trying to ruin her relationship with her son and grandchildren and told them that I called her a racist bitch. Everyone at the party became very hostile towards me and told me I went too far. That night my husband and I got into a huge fight and he told me I needed to apologize to his mother. When I told him I would never apologize to her unless I received an apology, he lashed out at me and went to stay at his mom's house. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. We don't apologize to racists. But it's very concerning that your husband doesn't see this. Jesus Christ. Not the asshole. Your Mill is definitely a racist asshole. However, the biggest asshole here is your husband. He is spineless and happy to watch you endure blatant racism while he excuses it with the ineffective, "She is a product of her time" trope. He absolutely needs to stand up for you. Girl, you deserve so much better. If you don't act quickly and decisively, her racism will extend to your children. Holy shit, are you not the asshole? At all. And please set things straight with your husband. A product of her time? She's 56, not 96. I'm enraged for you. Never apologize to racists unless it's to say, "I'm sorry you're a fucking racist." Maybe start introducing her matter-of-factly as your racist mother-in-law. She also made a comment on Facebook yesterday basically insinuating that her son married an angry black woman. But she worded it as, "My daughter-in-law is a very condescending and angry woman, may God guide and bless her soul." Didn't even read it. If she's being a racist B-word, that's her problem. Not the asshole. Okay, but now after reading, I have a lot of words to say about your incredibly weak husband, but all I'll say is take your black children away from these people before they destroy their sense of self. The "I am a racist" tagline. But I know a black person so I can't be racist. And a product of her time. When what she born? 1860? She is racist B. Good for you on calling her ass out on it. NTA. She's racist, but your husband is an even bigger issue. She's a product of her time. She's 56, not 106. Your husband not having your back is not okay. Am I the asshole for not wanting to teach my boyfriend how to do chores? Just as title says. I'm 20F, and my boyfriend, 23M, has always lived at home where his mom did most, all, of the chores. He moved in with me a few weeks ago, and asked me to help him learn how to certain things. I started with cooking. I figured that would be one of the most useful skills to know for him. So every night when I'm cooking he helped a bit with me explaining why and how I do things. That has been the first 2 weeks or so. This week I told him to try himself without help. I found some easy recipes of foods that he likes, and left him to try things out. Every single night this week I've had to do a big part of the cooking. Because he doesn't know how to cut this, doesn't know how to do this, or it tastes better when you do it. I'm tired of it. And that's just cooking. I've been doing almost all the other chores myself too. So I told him I'm done. That he'll do his own laundry, cook every other day, and do the dishes on the days he doesn't cook. That he can ask certain things, but only if he can't find the answer himself, and I won't show him. Do it for him. He got upset because relationships are about helping each other, but I feel like he doesn't want to learn and just push things off on me. I've shown him how to make French toast twice, but he still claims he doesn't know how to do it. I even wrote down the recipe. I just want him to put in some effort instead of expecting me to do it all. I've talked this over with my mom, and she said I should be grateful he's even asking to learn. My boyfriend thinks I don't want to help him with anything. I think he's a grown man and shouldn't need his hand held the entire way, especially with simpler stuff. Am I the asshole? Edited. It's not just cooking, it's also things like vacuuming, doing dishes. Which is why I don't think it's lack of confidence, not knowing how to do things. He's seen me vacuum. I've explained how to. He still wants me to show him. Not the asshole. Google weaponized incompetence. Not the asshole. This is weaponized incompetence. I wish I'd had your common sense and confidence when I was 20. He's perfectly capable of learning how to do basis household tasks by himself. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend thinks if he acts like a stupid mug long enough, you'll do it all. Just be careful about your woolens and bras. He might put them in on 60°C just to make sure he doesn't have to do laundry anymore. It tastes better when you do it. Oh no. No 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 no. That just won't do. That's the deciding factor for me. You're not the asshole. Interestingly, I was bringing up weaponized incompetence to someone else, and this line is a prime example of that. Relationships are about helping the other, sure, not raising them like a child. It's 2022, my guy. There's Google, there's YouTube, I'm sure there's a subreddit for beginners. My hubby tried weaponized incompetence once. Oh, but it only takes you 5 minutes to iron my shirt and it takes me half an hour, my reply? Well, that just tells me you need more practice. Not the asshole. This man is just trading on weaponized incompetence and hoping that you'll find helping so tedious that you take over. It's actually pretty disgusting that he never thought to learn before living with you. If he really wanted to be helpful, he would have asked mummy for lessons before moving in. YouTube is a thing that exists. And #X200B. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If this carries on, please leave him. Guys like this don't tend to change. They expect you to do everything and contribute nothing. Am I the asshole for not tying my girlfriend's shoelaces? My 24M girlfriend, 24F, broke her hand recently. We had dinner with some of my friends last night. She insisted on wearing shoes with laces. I asked her how she planned on tying her shoelaces if they got untied. She said she'd make me tie them. I told her I wouldn't and that she'd end up breaking her other hand. I'm guessing she thought I was joking because her shoelaces did get untied when we were out with my friends and she told me to tie them. I laughed in her face and told her to tie them herself. She stared at me angrily like I did something wrong by refusing to tie her stupid shoelaces that I warned her about. I avoided her for the rest of the night. I noticed her shoelaces were tied on the way home, so she probably made some poor guy tie them for her. She slept on the couch last night and won't talk to me. Am I the asshole? You are the asshole. Why are you with someone you clearly don't like or give a shit about? She finna leave you for the guy who tied her fucking shoes. I refused to tie my girlfriend's shoelaces. I may be the asshole for not putting my ego aside and just helping her. The fuck does your ego have to do with anything? All you put aside was any pretense that you give a fuck about your girlfriend. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. Did you really think you weren't the asshole? Let's count the ways you suck. 1. Injured girlfriend broke her hand and needed help doing something that now she couldn't and you refused. 2. You laughed in her face about aforementioned help. 3. You posted this thinking you were the good guy. You are the asshole. You really can't help your injured partner with something so small? You are the asshole. It's shoelaces. Takes like 5 seconds to tie. Why are you so against helping your girlfriend when her hand is broken? What are you, 12 years old? You are the asshole. Sheesh. You are the asshole and you also sound like a dick. Your girlfriend is injured and not only did you refuse to tie her shoes but also laughed in her face and avoided her for the rest of the night. If I were her, I'd avoid you for the rest of my life. Grow up and avoid relationships until you do. Am I the asshole for refusing to take 50% custody after my children left themselves? I know the title makes me sound like in a hole, but hear me out. I, 35 female, have 3 children with my ex-boyfriend, 37 male. We had 50-50 custody since our last daughter, 7 years of age. June of 2021 he asked for 100% custody and of course I refused. He threatened me saying he would get it. That Sunday when I got them for my week, my children were angry and accused me of kidnapping them. The whole week they were too much, so I gave him 100% custody while agreeing to pay child support. It was summer, so of course they were having lots of fun, and since his new girlfriend couldn't have children, it was like a perfect situation for them. Well, I moved out of the house, got an apartment where I could easily pay rent, and began living my best life. It got kind of lonely, but I reminded myself it was just me and I was free to do anything I want. Well, once school started, problems rose at their house. He didn't know what to do when it came to school, as I covered all of it. I gave him a binder with everything he would need to do. Well, since January the kids and my ex have been begging to go back to 50-50, and I've refused every time. His reasons are: 1, they can't have bedtime with them in the house; 2, working with the school for grades is too complicated; 3, he can't discipline them; 4, they expect an allowance; 5, he's sorry for threatening me. I still refused and told them they made their choice. Well, he told my family, and I'm getting messages from everyone for not taking the kids back. So am I the asshole? Edit. A lot of you think I should see them on weekends and try to rebuild relationship before going back to 50-50. I think I will try this, and thank you to the others who said I am the a-hole and have a good reason why. I will be putting my kids first from now on. Neither of the parents seem to be very concerned about what's in the best interests of the children, only what is convenient or inconvenient to themselves. Everyone sucks here, the adults, that is, because your kids are the collateral damage in the war between you and the ex. Is the goal to do the best for them or hurt each other the most? Because it definitely looks like the latter. Your ex is giving up on the kids now that parenting got harder, but then again that's exactly what you did. I mean, but they're still your kids. Don't you love and miss them? You're both using your kids as pawns to get at each other. You had a few difficult days with your kids and so you gave them up? He can't do basic things, like putting the kids to bed or helping with homework. So he's doing the exact same thing you did. Giving them up because he doesn't want to deal with whatever they've got going on. You didn't even question why the kids said you were kidnapping them? He clearly put that into their heads. I feel awful for those kids. They need parents who might actually be there for them. Neither of you are it, but that's who they're stuck with. Not the asshole. He got what he wanted for you to pay child support. What he didn't count on was what school, homework, and after-school activities does to parenting. He filled the kids' heads with lies, bullshit they wanted to live with him full-time. If you were to revisit the custody percentage, make it in your favor. You'll need a bigger place, you have a lease, who will pay to break it? Etc. IDK men walk out of marriage and kids all, and it's okay. Why can't she have her life now that she is getting accustomed to it? I really don't understand. UX sucks. IDK what to do with the judgment. But yeah, remember your kids will remember this like you abandoned them and resent you. So if you are okay with that. Cool. You're an asshole to your children because you effectively gave up parenting them because they were angry and difficult for a week? In a situation that is predictably stressful for them because they have two parents that can't get along? You are not an asshole to him, and he's the asshole in that situation because he has no business trying to go back on it now.